So lately, I've been noticing, like, when I watch YouTube videos, I tend to look at more of how the videos are edited and special effects that they're doing, backgrounds, lighting, things like that. And I'm trying to incorporate some of these things that I'm seeing other people do into my own channel and my own videos, And so it's like, but I've noticed, like, this tendency of some YouTubers, to have really cool backgrounds and different lighting and everything. And it makes me wonder what I could be doing with things like background. Well, okay, I'm not going to lie, but my background right now is just basically me pushing stuff out of the way to make room for the next project I'm working on. But that doesn't mean that I can't do maybe more interesting things with lighting. So maybe we should try that. Okay, I'm going to try directional lighting. Let's go ahead and turn this off. All right, guys. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, nope. That wasn't it. Here. I'm all right. I don't think I'm changing the lighting. Okay. Tactical flashlight, not good for directional lighting. Hey guys, welcome back to the Untrained Unprofessional Workbench. My name is Nobody. Yep, see, still me, I'm still alive. And we're going to be doing part 2 of the Norinco 1911 A1 complete rebuild. And part 2 is going to involve fitting this Wilson Combat Match barrel. In part 1, in case you missed it, we went ahead and fitted this EGW barrel bushing, and I'll put the link somewhere up above. It's a great video. I'm just telling you that in the hopes that you'll watch it, but anyway. Before we get into it, I kind of want to show you some of the tools that I think I'm going to be needing on this, and I'm sure there's going to be some more, which, for the lugs, yes, but we're going to start off with fitting the hood to the slide. So to do that, I'm going to be using my old barrel bushing because it has a nice loose fit, so getting it in and out of the slide will be nice and easy. Of course, I got my barrel. This is a barrel alignment fixture, and if you see on here, I have a couple of dots. It doesn't come that way, but I noticed that this side was tighter than this side, so that way I have a visual representation of what is going on so I don't get them mixed up. Got a Sharpie for marking surfaces that I'll be filing on so I can make sure that I'm doing a nice even cut. I got a file here with 2 safe edges on it, and this is a smooth cut file. It's a number 2 pillar file. Of course, I got a small little vise here, so that way I have something to hold the barrel in. And I also have some soft jaws that have some grooves in it that make it nice for holding on to round objects. So to prep for all this, I use my barrel alignment jig, with the bushing to kind of see where I'm going to be focusing a lot of my file work. And the right side of the barrel, looking down like this, looks like it needs very little to come off, where a majority of the filing appears to be here on the left side. The left side. So that's where we're going to start. I'm going to focus mostly on this left side at first to try to get it close before I jump over to the right side. And again, sneak up on it. Well, I had a little bit of technical difficulty. My microphone ran out of battery, so I went ahead and finished fitting the hood to the slide, and unfortunately it kind of caused a little bit of error just because I didn't know exactly what to look for, being that this is my first fitment. I mean, it's still tighter than the original one, but anyway, it's like what was going on is that right here on the slide, there was this weird little, I guess not fully machined area that had like a little hump, and that was putting pressure on the hood. And so if I would have caught that earlier, I would have probably been able to get a little bit tighter of a lockup. But I guess in the grand scheme of things, you know, having a little bit of extra space is going to make this more reliable. Or at least that's the way that I'm spinning this. So we'll see when I eventually take it out to the range. As for the lockup, I'm sitting at about 50 thousandths. So which, you know, everything that I've read, that seems to be pretty good. A lot of people shoot for 40 to 45. Some shoot for 50, some shoot for 55. I'm at 50, so that works for me. I ended up taking this hammer hook squaring file, and just because I haven't used it yet on hammer hooks, which I'm eventually going to, but I think I'll buy a different one for the hammer hook file. This will be what I use here, but it fit really perfectly in the lug groove and was really nice for taking off that material. As for actually fitting into the slide and how it looks with the bushing, I'll show you that really quick. And that's how the nose looks so far. Looks pretty nice. I'm really happy with it so far. Guess I should probably break out the lug cutter. Another first. Alright guys, so we're about to cut the lugs, and I'm using the kit from Brownells for doing this process. So I have my barrel holder already in place. I'm using the bushing that I'm planning to use on this build, so that way it is in its true configuration. One of the things that I had to do on this in order for it to fit nicely in between here is I took a stone and lightly hit both sides because it was just binding up just a little bit, and enough to where it took a little bit of force. But now it goes on really nice and easy. I didn't take a whole lot off. I am using the thumb safety that I plan to use for this build, so that way it is fit precisely to that. Also, I'm going to try the handle, which some people have said that you don't need the handle, but you know, by the time I found those videos and stuff, I had already purchased it, but I'm going to give it a try because I have it. I did have to clean out the hole on it because it was a little burry, so I just took a drill bit and cleaned it out. Now let's talk about the actual lug cutter itself. Now I'm going to start with the 1/8/6 as the instructions call out for or suggest that you do. Now on this little rotating handle here, one thing that I found was that this does not like to spin very nicely, and what will happen is, depending on which way you turn it, it will turn the screw. So a little bit of blue Loctite and give it a couple thousandths makes it to where you can utilize this nice and smoothly. The other thing that I noticed was this guy supports the cutting tool on the opposite side. The problem I was running into, which it'll have the same problem on this side, here let's not hold everything, is when you insert it into the slide stop, it hits the frame. So I ended up putting a quick little flat on it so that way it can fully support the tool without interfering with the slide. Okay, going to put a little bit of cutting oil on here. And the instructions suggest that you check your cutter quite often. And also you're supposed to okay, well, I didn't hit any resistance at all on that. Interesting. Well, I have to say that I'm a little disappointed because I was really looking forward to using that lug cutter just because it seemed like fun. So I'm going to go with a plan B, and I figured out which link tends to be the closest, and I am just going to lap it in. I'm going to use some 600 grits. I'm going to go ahead and put it on these bearing surfaces and try to work it in to fit to my slide stop. So I know some of you are probably going, no, please don't do that, nobody. And I'll just say, well, you know, it's what I'm doing, and we'll see how it works. So I could sit here and try to file it and figure out where the best places to file would be. and maybe be successful at it, maybe not. I don't know. So, but this is what we are going to try to do, and wish me luck. Alright, let's clean it out and see if we went far enough. Alright, let's see how this fits in the gun. So I've been doing a combination of a little bit of filing with round files and some 600 grit Wheeler. So the last little bit has been primarily the round files, as I'm just fine tuning, and I think I am just about there on this. Hard thing about knowing what there is when you've never actually gotten there before, so. And this whole project has kind of turned out a little bit differently than I thought it would. Thought I would use that lug cutter and have some a definite starting off place. Instead, I'm just trying to wing it. But we will see here. Ah. Seems to unlock without binding, which is nice. Goes in really nice. Nice. That's so smooth. It'll be even better if it actually works, but right now, super happy. Alright, I just put the spring in, and oh yeah, no binding. Yeah, feels good. Can't feel any movement. Yeah, the barrel doesn't drop at all. That's a huge improvement over the stock version. That Chromeline barrel would feels like it could almost drop through the gun. But that is just rock solid. Doesn't even move. Well, like I said, that turned out to be different than I thought it was going to be. It actually took longer than I thought, but had a couple of different things that threw me for a loop that I had to figure out anyway. So, but overall, I think pretty nice. Man, I don't get tired of that. Just boop. Boop. Alright guys, well, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it, and hopefully you guys have random success like I do. Boop.